Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. I am your host, JP John Paz, and with us today is a host, a producer, an editor, a musician, of course, the man behind the Mike Durbin Show and Get My Go. He is, of course, Mr. Mike Durbin. Welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling.
The Eagles really get my go. Well, okay. You go get that go.
Now, since we're talking about it, I got to ask you about it. Of course, talking about Get My Go. But this show, which is about John Wanglin and his show, aren't you going to make him more popular by keep bringing him up and keep? Is that a theory, or maybe I'm crazy, or is that a fear?
That's what Vince said to us last night. He told me and Joe that on his Twitch. He's like, you're giving the guy the rub, kind of. You're
free publicity,
yeah. You're making him known to people who wouldn't ordinarily. He's like, nobody will know who this guy is, but you guys are making him a name. That's fine. His shows are so terrible. Everything that he does is so bad that there may be 0.001% of people that check out his show because they heard it on ours that will actually enjoy it and be like, okay, I'll subscribe to him. I like his stuff. I'm going to listen to it. His show, it's those shits. It's awful. Every show that he's done like 400 shows. If you look on his feed,
oh my God,
they're awful. They're the worst podcasts ever. And the thing, I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not saying I'm good. You will never find anything on my shows or anything that I've ever done where I praise my own podcasting ability or hosting ability. I've never said anything positive about myself as a host, as a speaker, as a podcaster. But I'm telling you that this guy is the bottom of the barrel. He is the fucking worst of all time. No, we're not worried about that at all.
Get My Go comes out every Saturday on video on YouTube. There's going to be an audio version soon as well. The last 2 weeks featured Jeff Lane from The Brand and Chad from which makes Vince unhappy to no end, I'm sure. And Chad from the two-man power trip was on Get My Go the last couple of weeks.
He's the only person that's done 400 of something, and instead of getting better, he's gotten progressively worse.
One edge causes another edge. So when somebody sees somebody popping off, it gets someone else fired up. And Durbin comes in like a house of fire. So soothing, but a house of fire nonetheless.
You guys have no idea that I got to deal with your freaking show at 10 o'clock on a freaking Saturday night, bro. Serious. I'm being dead serious now, bro. Like, I'm literally laying in bed with my wife, hearing about you and how, you since you're a brand member, the things that you say are a representation. Bro, do you think I want to deal with that shit, Mike, on a Saturday night? Seriously?
Well, you obviously booked a show and you brought Hugely on, and then the cast of Get My Go showed up. And
I brought everybody on. I made sure that shit happened. I had to make sure that shit happened because when shit goes off the rails, Ocho's the guy that can improvise.
That proves to you you're dealing with a fucking child, and you need to cut this person. I'm not going to say his name. We all know the fucking guy's name. You need to cut off all ties with this motherfucker. Do you understand me? Fuck this guy, dude.
But how great was Durbin, man? How great was Durbin last night? I like that. I like that side of him.
I'm saying right now to everybody, and I'm going to post this everywhere on all social media, everywhere. Vince Russo has nothing to do with Get My Go. He never did from the beginning. Nothing. He's never endorsed it. So you two fucking crybabies listening to me right now, stop fucking emailing Vince. Do you understand me, you fucking morons? Disco Inferno is always telling us that we should do like the Alyssa Milano podcast and, criticize some real liberal stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do that too. But the thing is, John won't fucking stop putting episodes out. I'm like, dude, please fucking give it a rest. Just die. Just go somewhere and stop.
And then Get My Go this week will feature Rad Rob from the Rad Turtles podcast.
Who?
He was formerly on the old
Rad
network.
Turtles, like the Ninja Turtles. Remember that they were rad?
Yeah. Well, I think that's where it came from. But he's got Ben Hameen this week. He's had some good guests. He'll be on Get My Go, and then of course you have the Aussie guy Dean Broso coming to you on Get My Go. He was he also podcasted with those guys before. He's the improvisational comedian.
And he's got these new guys on there. John does. He's got these new, like, he's really into young men, and like he had like a teenage boy on there. Yeah, very strange stuff. I don't know where he finds these people, but
Bro, you got a star-studded lineup, all right? Joe Tingle and this guy, what's his name?
Dean, the Aussie guy.
It's like,
Listen,
bro,
if
you
I
go to
had
the track. It's like going to the horse track.
Jeff Lane, Chad from the Two Man
Joe
Power Trip,
Tingle, Rad the Turtle.
Rat Turtle.
It's like going to the horse track, and it's like you go to the buddy, your buddy meets us, and you come to the track and say, "Hey, I've already made your bets for you. You got all the tickets." It's like, how come all my horses are like 20 and 30 to 1? It's like,
And one more thing, I'd like to invite you on Get My Go. You seem like the nicest guy. I don't know if you have any. Do you have a mean side to you? Can you cut promos? on people?
Oh yeah. Don't.
Okay.
don't ask my wife because she knows. She knows all about it.
We'll bring you on. We'd love to have you on.
All
we
right.
Can, we can
All
rip
right.
on Chris Martin for tagging you in every post that he makes.
I'd
You
love
cut
to
a
come on
promo
your
on
show,
him
yeah.
and just ask him, why do you tag me on everything? I don't need to be tagged in the inspired quote of the day. I don't need to be tagged when your new episode comes out. Leave me alone. I know it's annoying because he used to do it to me, and thank God that stopped. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, before we get into the inspired show this week, I just want to say something very special real quick, and that is to one of my best friends, my brother, Mr. John Wanglin, Mr. Johnny Podcasting. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you so much for not doubting me. Thank you so much for actually giving a damn to call me. Thank you so much for giving a shit to check up on me. And guess what? You are a true friend. You are a true amigo. And thank you. I greatly appreciate it more than you realize. And to everybody out there that wants to run their mouth, that wants to troll me, and that wants to spit negativity and claim that I'm full of it, you can kiss my ass. Because I am true to the core. There ain't nothing fake about me. And for anybody to doubt that for a second, you can kiss my ass. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. And let the show begin.
Yep, my go.
What's that, buddy?
Shut up, Christopher. You suck. Yep, my go. But I'm telling you, it's pretty accurate to what it was. Yep, my go.
all right, welcome back to Get My Go, episode number 27. Thank you, everyone, for your great response on the two Jeff Lane and Chad episodes. Part 2 dropped this morning. Yeah, Jeff Lane. Rob's wearing his Jeff Lane t-shirt right now.
Yep, that's right.
Hopefully you guys all bought some t-shirts from all of our various pro wrestling tee stores. Maybe you got a Dexter the Cat t-shirt.
They didn't.
No?
Surprisingly, that's not a hot seller. I don't know.
Well, on the show this week, we have returning guest, Mr. Dean Broso, the star of Castrating the Marks 2.
G'day, gentlemen. Thanks for always reminding me of that and not letting me forget that. So, yeah, it's been a tough couple of episodes for me, reliving. Joe told me after the first couple that you were done with it. And then I saw the news it was coming again. I thought, oh, here we go. So, no, look, you guys did a great job. As always, it's just tough to hear yourself bomb and suck and realize how horrible a decision that was to do and let him put it out.
Dean, are you able to watch these Castrating the Bros and enjoy them, or are you like tensing up the whole time?
Yeah, look, it's just the fact that knowing that I sat there and let him say all that shit, that's the worst part. And didn't actually put my foot down and say you can't put all of that out. But I said to Rob the other day, I do remember saying at the end of the first one, I reckon we got 20 minutes at best out of that. And then we did actually get positive responses, like a couple of people on Twitter, and we never got anything. So I was like, okay, a couple of people liked it. So that's why it convinced me to do a second one. But when I actually went back and listened to the first one, I was friggin' shattered. I was like, this is one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. And I can't believe you could listen to that and think that's a good podcast to put out. So yeah, hearing that, I was like, how the fuck did I do a second one of these? Yeah, it made me have a good hard look at myself, but you guys, like, I do appreciate the critiques, and you guys are always good, but it is that they're the only ones that I haven't listened to like 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Like every other one I've listened to that many times, it's ridiculous, but those ones I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I said that there was one, I can't remember, but it's like the one that broke Husey. It was such a chore to get through, and you can see us on video all like leaning back. Mike's like looking down at his phone. Husey's just like terrorist frozen on his face. I said that was the worst one to get through, but the last Castrating the Marks 2 was the second hardest to get through.
Yeah. Also joining us, another star of the Castrating the Bros 1 and 2, Mr. Rob Francois. Rad Rob.
We probably should have had these guys on to like just up.
No.
Yeah.
Them right in front of us, be like, what was that?
I probably would have killed myself on video. So no, good morning, gentlemen. It's good to be here again. I was thinking before we started, I'm going to blow some smoke up my own ass like I always do. I'm kind of the catalyst for this entire show. So I mean, really, if you want to look at it, I am the MVP of Get My Go because without John firing me, Get My Go might not ever have happened, or if it did, it might not have been the same incarnation that's in now. But nah, I'm just kidding. You guys know I love this show. I'm glad to be here. I don't even know what we have in store for today. So you guys haven't told me what the subject is, so I'm looking forward to it. But I do want to say one thing before we get everything going here. As you've realized, and obviously this is going to be dropping probably in a week or two, but as we're recording this, Mr. Jonathan Wanglin himself, Johnny Podcasting, is scrubbing all of his archives because, Mr. Durban may have clipped a show that John did on Vampiro, where he went off for about 53 minutes on how the shitty side of wrestling and how much Vampiro was hard to work with and all that, and how flighty he was, and how he didn't make any money and he wasn't a draw. So Mike clipped those, put those up on Twitter, tagged Vampiro in it, and rightly so. And Vamp's like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. And then once we explained who he was, he's like, oh, yeah, I think I was on that network once. And then, John chimed in and actually gave Vamp an attitude. After all this time, he still gave Vamp an attitude saying, like, because Vamp wanted to come on the show. And John's like, well, pick a time next week and we'll do it. And he's like, no, I want to do it tonight. And John was like, well, some people can't drop their lives in their jobs, to, I forgot what he said,
for your instant gratification.
For your instant gratification.
Yeah.
To a fucking guy that's been like up and down the fucking roads, man, all over the world with a draw. Here's this fucking schmuck who bought all his fucking downloads. Like nobody has ever heard of. He's talking to a guy who John's never been in the business himself. He's going to give Vampiro an attitude. This guy's got the biggest fucking. You think Vince McMahon has grapefruits? John Wanglin has the biggest fucking balls in the world and the smallest at the same time. It's very weird. And it's the internet. It's always going to be out there. Thankfully, Mike and some others were able to download those shows. But since that night, John's been scrubbing all his archives for the second time that we know of, with anything that's negative he ever put out about anybody. So eventually, if we just keep bringing this stuff up, he might just delete his whole podcast, and then he'll be doing the whole world a favor.
Yeah, but the things that he's deleted, like we've already covered, like they're part of a fucking theme song. So the one thing I want to say before we start the clips is because we were talking about the Vampiro stuff earlier. My favorite part that nobody mentioned, that's why I'm bringing it back up, is when Vampiro goes, what is this? Who is this guy? What's going on here? And Mike goes, the guy that you did the podcast with the very effeminate voice. And Vampiro goes, oh, that fucking guy.
Another thing I love from that was we had a run-in. It wasn't from Corey Ryan.
Oh, yes.
It was from Corey Ryan's, I don't know if it's his brother or just his friend that calls him his brother. But this guy ran in. What's the guy's name?
Eli, I think it was. Eli,
what is it?
Something?
Eli Brazil or something.
Yeah, Eli. This guy Eli Brazil ran in, and he's just fucking attacking Vampiro like your mental illness is a gimmick. You're full of shit. You're still lying to people, and he's going on and on and on. And then Vamp was getting really heated at him. I encourage everybody check out Vampiro's Twitter from November 20th, somewhere around that.
Around that 23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, it's a pretty entertaining, man. So this guy Eli ran in, and then I don't know what happened, but he eventually deleted his own Twitter. He got so scared, and he's gone.
He was on a path to ruin, of course.
Everybody watching now, you can see the screen. This is what Eli looks like. I mean, I don't know who this guy is to attack people. I mean, look at Eli and Corey here. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Where does John find these guys, man?
Like the stereotypical 90s douchebags is what they look like, right?
Did you share the screen, Mike?
No, I'm going to add it in post.
You're going to add it. All right, never mind.
Yeah. I don't want to look at him right now. He'll ruin my morning. I mean, dude, Corey Ryan's like eyebrows, like him and John both, they like pluck their eyebrows like way too much, dude. It's very weird, man.
We got Corey F. and Ryan. Mr. Ryan, I see you're drinking a little of the good stuff tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. And by the way, about Vampiro, fuck you, Vampiro.
Hey, whoa, bam. Damn, there he is. Coming right out the
You're a selfish prick who doesn't give a shit about your fans, so fuck you.
I don't disagree with what you're saying here. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think Sunny is too, because she knows Vamp too, so she knows him from the same area. So,
all right, let's get to the clips here, man.
Oh yeah, are we doing clips?
We're doing clips. Yeah, we're not just going to talk for 40 minutes on the show. So we're doing some submissions from Rob and a lot of submissions from Dean. Every morning I wake up and I have like 5 emails from Dean. And he's like, I found this piece of gold, and I listen to it. I'm just like, my God. Some of them I remember, and some of them I've never heard, and I'm just like, dude, this show will never end because there's so much material out there. Unless we haven't even gone through all the shows that I did on my network with him and Richie. There's fucking like 30 shows that we did. So
what's the one that he did at the crossroads or down the train tracks? Or
Road to Redemption.
Road to Redemption.
Down the train tracks.
Mike, you got no idea how many clips I've got that I haven't sent you yet. Like I toss up as to whether it's good enough or not. And you should see, because I do it all on my phone. You should see my photos. It's just cheap pops. Like you scroll down, there's just all these videos.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you, Dean. I'm worried for your mental safety.
Well, that's why he's got the noose, man.
Yeah, let's see how tighter that noose gets as the show progresses. You're doing the Lord's work, man. Congrats. I mean, God bless you for having to sit through hours and hours and hours of John Wanglin. Even when I was on his network, I never listened to his shows because they were so god awful.
But nobody makes me laugh like he does. And it's ironic, he doesn't mean to make me laugh. But he says some stuff that really just makes me laugh out loud legitimately.
He literally has no legit sense of humor. So he couldn't ever pop you on purpose because he doesn't know how. He doesn't have the ability.
All right, we're going to start off with Rob submissions. Rob, this is one called CEVID. So I guess it's a take on COVID.
well, just call me CVID, man, or COVID-19, man.
Right?
That's my new nickname.
That's whatever it's going to be for Halloween if we're still around. So
I'm telling you, man, if we're not dead by then, we'll be COVID-19, man. I didn't think the people appreciated me doing my rendition of The Walking Dead at the store today. So I might have gotten myself in a little hot water.
Only you, man.
Only me, man. I'm a heat magnet no matter where I go.
I'm telling you, man. So he was sick and he went to the store. Is that what I'm gathering from that?
Yeah, he was, and who knows, he might have it at that point, and you know how that area and New York in general is, but that was before the lockdowns and all that. But yeah, that was early March, I think, February, somewhere around there when this whole thing started. But yeah, CVID, I just thought was funny. He couldn't even pronounce the fucking virus right.
Super spreader Wanglin. Does he strike you as like a big hand washer? So he could be one of those nuts like that washes all the time, like serial killer shit.
The next one is called Scandinavian God. Is this the origin of Scandinavian God?
It is. It is the very first time that he anointed himself the Scandinavian God. Notice none of his nicknames he's ever gotten were any ones that we gave him.
Yeah.
Johnny Podcasting, Scandinavian God,
Mr. No Days Off.
Mr. No Days Off. All Johnny Podcasting, they're anointing himself.
It's like everybody on that network, everybody that he brings in, he gives them a new nickname. Like now, Corey Ryan is the Corey F and Ryan, the real fucking show or something. He had 2 different names, and then now Sonny is called. What was the name, Joe, for Sonny?
Yeah, something to do with Canada, right?
The Thunder Bay Bomber.
We got the Thunder Bay Bomber straight from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, the home of wrestling legend Vampiro, but it's the home of the legend herself, Sunny Salem. Welcome to the show tonight, Sunny. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, and I'm going to take that title from Vampiro.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck, man?
What was the butthole thing with Corey the other day? What was that one he's calling himself? I forgot what it was. Try and find that, Mike. He's something butthole or something along those lines. I don't know. I heard that the other day.
What happened to the little kid that he had on? What was his name?
Oh, my God.
Joseph Conlon.
Joseph Conlon. I actually meant to send you guys. I'll send it to you right now if you want to plug it up on the screen. He's actually still following Joseph and commenting on his stuff.
Oh, he loves Joseph Conlon. He loves young boys. He really likes younger boys and men. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Just after some discussions that we'd been having, and then that pops up of this guy, and I just like, wow, dude, like he's got zero self-awareness, man.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, Joseph want to know, for YouTubers who use a microphone while recording, what are some good microphones to buy online? Just doing some Black Friday online shopping, and Johnny was the first to comment saying Snowball is a great one. And then Joseph put out a happy Thanksgiving from my family to yours. Hope everybody is enjoying the day with their families. Go Cowboys. And John said, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. So that's good for Johnny to.
I got to say,
the reference that he dropped, Snowball, I'm sure that's something that he wouldn't mind doing with Joey.
well, I'm pretty sure they replied to the tweet and said, please don't endorse us.
I have coined a new nickname for myself to add to the many of them tonight.
Okay.
It's a new one.
See?
I cannot be the Spanish god because I have not of Hispanic descent. I am the Scandinavian god. Hashtag
Oh, here we go.
Scandinavian god. Johnny podcasting, Mr. No Days Off.
You got
the
it.
one, the only, the motherfucking man, myth, the legend, John Wanglin, the Scandinavian god. Hashtag Scandinavian god.
You know, the man, the myth, the legend. That's something he used to say whenever he had any guest on the show or even the guys, the co-hosts. He would say that about everybody. Oh, we got Hambone, the man, the myth, the legend, Hambone. We got, it's...
He changes up to sometimes he goes the man, the myth, and he's almost the legend.
Yeah.
or he's not quite the legend yet.
The one that we're talking about scrubbing clips and whatnot. There was one that I know has been gone for a long time, but I'd still like to hear it, or maybe I could find it on another. No, I didn't record it. The first appearance of me on Wrestling with Reality, where I didn't even know who the fuck he was. I just thought that would be a fun listen, like 3 years later, or whatever, to see how that went. But it was gone when he left. When he left one of the carriers, I don't know.
I did the show. I think it was January of maybe 2018 or 2019, maybe.
Yeah, 2019.
And I just remember it being really weird. Like I didn't know who he was. He invited me on the show, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I just remember, like, what the fuck is up with this guy? He's very strange, He's like overly nice. He's very, very weird. Like nobody can be this nice and it's genuine,
And that's what I thought, and that's what sucked me in. I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, this guy's the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. Like he's willing to do whatever it takes to help me out and get, when I was doing the podcast with Jeff Johnson, he's like, I'll put you guys on my network. You'll be my star act. You're my first signing, blah, 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 blah. We're going to make some money doing this. And I believed every word of it because he's that good of a salesman.
I bet that the people in the house in Waco were going, yeah, it's on fire now, but that David Koresh he had a terrific smile. What a nice young man he was. Or in Jonestown, yeah, I'll drink the Kool-Aid. After all, Jim's a great guy.
All right, the next one is it's called the Sexy Scandinavian God.
I am your host, Rad Rob Francois, along with Mr. No Days Off, Johnny Podcasting, the hashtag Scandinavian God, Mr. Jonathan Wanglin. What's going on, Johnny?
I'm here. I'm ready to roll. I'm looking good. I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling like a Scandinavian god tonight. We're going to have some fun, as always, here tonight. Doing great, guys. Hopefully you guys are all doing great, too. And everybody out there in listening land is doing great as well.
Listening land.
Feeling sexy.
It just made me think of, if you're going to do a wrestling show and you want to kind of pattern it after the ones that have been successful. I don't hear Dave Meltzer calling himself, California, whatever, California cream of the crop, Dave Meltzer, or Keller doesn't have a nickname, I don't think, and some of the other guys, you don't hear any nicknames on Busted Open, I don't think. So, I mean, that's just it's like, okay, haha, I'm a heel, I have heel nicknames, but this isn't the fake world of wrestling. It's reality, and people really aren't going to like you because you sound like a smug asshole.
All right, now we're going to move on to Dean submissions, and there are a lot. There's a lot of them.
Shit, I got a lot of work to do. Fuck.
Yeah. So Dean,
wait. Can we vote on which one we want to hear first?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, pick.
I want to hear putting a salt on people.
That's not bad. That's not a bad choice.
It's Road to Redemption.
The Road to Redemptions are amazing because he's real. He changes his voice. He's real serious and real emotional music playing. Here we go.
And you hear it everywhere. It's on the news. It's on the media. It's on everything. And a lot of people are doing it the right way. They're protesting the situation peacefully and then the right way. And then you have people that are out there that are looting. They're creating damage. They're putting assault on people. You still have the police officers out assaulting people at will, too. I mean, it's just a sticky situation on what's been going on. So tonight's topic I want to talk to you guys about is I want to talk to you about dreams, about dreaming big, aiming for the stars, and how does that relate to George Floyd?
I don't think it does, really, to be honest.
I thought that ending couldn't have been more perfect when you think about his dreams of podcasting and how they relate to George Floyd.
It's a sticky situation.
But it sounded to me like he was about to just cut the Dusty Rhodes Hard Times promo.
As soon as I heard the music, I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is like a horrible porno movie or something.
Putting a salt on people.
Yeah, throwing individual grains of salt at people.
Rob, pick the next one.
Podcasting advice. We got to go there.
This one is true. You know what? Dean, this one, I wish you would have started a little bit earlier, but it's enough. It's enough.
And starting your own network and starting your own shows. So what would my suggestion for podcasters my suggestion would be is you have to be passionate about whatever you talk about. You have to find a market that you think that you can do very well in, because there's a lot of very difficult markets for people looking into getting into a wrestling podcast. There's about 15,000 of them out there. So to make a real splash in the wrestling podcast world is very difficult, because if you're not a big name player, you haven't been a wrestler, you haven't been a manager, some type of personality in it, it's a lot harder to get yourself over without it.
Like him? I'm not a, you need to have a name, you need to have somebody people, a name people recognize. Well, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, you're giving advice to people that want to start a podcast and you're not even a name in the business yourself. It's fucking grapefruits, man. I'm telling you.
It's interesting that the first clip said splash. No, it said, what did it say? Sticky situation. Now this one says splashing out there. Every time he says something like that, I hear Husey in my head,
And I miss Husey right now, because just the way John's effeminate voice sounds right now, Husey would be all over that.
Yeah.
Hey there, man. It was a really sticky situation.
It's pretty much, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's very, very highly difficult. So to get yourself to that level, you have to have a really consistent product every week. You got to put out a product that sounds good first and foremost.
He's never done that.
You got to be consistent. He never does this segment ever again.
Yeah.
The one and done.
Just like the mean tweets that he was supposed to do every week or every other week that he hasn't done since. It was just focused pretty much just on me.
Yeah. And then the NFL football show that, they did 3 episodes and then they just stopped.
Yeah. He picked it up mid-season and then, just dropped it. Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand. How come when he does that, or he just drops a concept out of nowhere, that there's no one ever complains?
Yeah. The only person who ever did was Fat Conan
on Twitter or whatever. There's never.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's on Twitter like, oh God, I can't believe he didn't put out week 10 of the NFL recap. Oh shit.
And even Brother Martin's show, like if you go over the past 2 months and just look at how many shows he's dropped, I think he's done one or two shows in the last 2 or 3 months.
Hey man, it's Black Friday now, so he is a busy little beaver at Walmart.
You got to have great audio quality. You have to have good content. You have to have a good structure. And then for the second part of it is you have to have a lot of continuity, and you have to really be consistent with what you do. And if you're going to put one show a week out on every Wednesday, then you're going to put one show a week out every Wednesday. You're not going to go up and down and miss shows. You're not going to do any of those things. You're going to give your listeners and your loyal fan base a consistent flow and a consistent episode base, because there will be people that will want to listen to your show and would be really bummed if it wasn't on. So that's something for you guys to think about if you're thinking of starting a podcast. And another thing to think about is that it's very hard. So if you want to make money in it, it definitely takes a long time to make some money. And like I said, I've been doing this about a year now with the show, and we're just getting to the point where we're making some decent money and doing some good stuff on it.
No, that's where I call bullshit. Not making money. I was there. I was on the inside. I was his partner. We didn't make shit. I mentioned this to you guys in our DM group. Manscaped for a month. Blue Chew for a month. My Bookie for about 2 months. Cut between me and him and the others wasn't shit. I can tell you that right now. Joe knows too. He knows how much they pay out, and you were probably getting a higher payout than we were. But no. And at that point, Spreaker's ad revenue or wherever the fuck we were wasn't even good enough at that point. So everything he just nailed off, or he railed off in the last minute and a half, were completely false. Audio quality sucks. Continuity, zero. People getting bummed about your show? No, it doesn't fucking exist. Not on his shows. Like everything he mentioned to give advice, none of it. I'm starting to speak like him now.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't follow any of that himself.
I tell you there, man. You know, it bothers this clip so far in those last parts have bothered me because I hear. I'm not saying he repeated what I said or imitated me, but it's possible because those are my stock answers whenever I'm asked on Conan's show or other people's shows. You know, how did you start podcasting? What is this? What is that? Can you make money? I'm always like, have a consistent show out, even though I don't do it. Ha, ha, ha. Every single time it's the same answer. And you're not going to make make money for 2 years. I just said it today. I just said it earlier. So
here we are a year later. I mean, I don't know when this was recorded, but we'll just say a year later, and he's not putting out shows on time. He's not putting them out every Wednesday. He's kind of putting them out whenever he wants. Like, he couldn't even follow his own advice.
It's not a high investment. It's not very expensive to get started. You just have to have pretty decent equipment. But
come on, man. Nobody on that network has any kind of equipment. Stop, John.
That was the moment. That's what I heard, and I went, "Hang on a minute, let's go back."
Yeah.
Well, what's he saying here?
You can really do it fairly inexpensive. It's not too hard to host it, but you got to really bust your ass. You got to study algorithms. You got to study marketing. You got to learn about trends and social media. There's a whole lot to it that if you guys are going to get going on a show and on a podcast, that you guys need to think about that.
Is he rubbing one out when he's fucking talking about this? Like, what is that noise?
Algorithms.
You got to bust your ass. I'm sure Hughesy would have something to say about him busting his ass.
What is? Can someone explain to me? Because I didn't do any of that stuff, and I've been relatively successful. What does he mean studying algorithms? I don't even know what that means.
Because if you don't have a name on your show, you have to find a way to cut corners and see what the latest trends are and see how other people are trying to get ahead and try to use buzzwords and hashtags and shit like that. Because you don't have the star power, you got to try to find an edge.
So, for instance, using like hashtag Trump is a crook, hashtag whatever.
Yeah,
Just
whatever the
copying off-
buzzwords are. Yeah, exactly. Whatever the trending topics are and shit like that. And because he would put out a subject, once a week of whatever was going on at that time. It had nothing to do with fucking wrestling. He would just use whatever trending topic or buzzwords, whatever, to pop an episode out and try to get downloads.
About for you guys for podcasting there if you're interested. If you ever need help, let me know. Just shoot me an email or hit me up on Twitter at WWR Podcast on Twitter, or just shoot me an email, wwrpodcast.com@gmail.com. If you ever need help or got any questions, I do a lot for people.
That sound in the background, it sounds like he's putting on like a Catwoman suit or something.
Possibly.
Do you spell out the dot or you put the dot?
You put the dot, I believe.
It's the dot. It'd be like Mike.Durban, like certain like work emails and stuff like that. So who knows why he did that? Maybe so nobody else would take it. I don't fucking know.
Probably because another podcast already had WWR podcast.
There's another clip where he calls out.
Actually, that's probably a good segue.
Yeah, it's a good segue. We'll get to that next.
I'm still learning a ton too, everybody. So I'm not Conrad Thompson, the Podfather yet. So I am learning as I go too. And I have a very good grasp and understanding of a lot of things because I really engulfed myself into the podcasting world, and I love it. And it's been a blast for me, and we're starting to really make some grounds. I never would have thought after doing this for less.
Oh, hello.
We're making some coffee grounds.
Getting some coffee, man. That's what
I'm starting to make some grounds.
Wow.
God, this is beautiful.
You know, Hambone actually looked up where he got his college degrees from.
Oh, wow.
I think it was like the Community College of the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, I have a community college degree too, but you don't ever hear. I'm never going to be bragging about it on the air.
I mean, Hambone is a crack investigative reporter.
Yeah,
I mean, he finds out stuff that I never even knew about. God bless Hambone and all the fine work that he does too.
That we would have been ranked into the top 25 or 50 wrestling podcasts in the world that you need to listen to in 2019 by big name sites and things like that. So it's a real honor for everybody, and it really is a testament that I guess we're putting out a really good product for everybody. That's what we strive to do, and that's what we hope for. So I hope that answers your question, Samantha.
Whoa, who the fuck emailed him?
Samantha.
Secondly, those top 50 or 25 podcasts, whatever it was, that's similar to the like audiowrestling.com awards where you just submit yourself. So all he did was submit himself in a description of the show, and they put him up as podcasts you need to listen to. It's not like they were hunting around and like, ooh, this one's good. No, it's totally you solicit. It's totally solicited. So
that's a good segue to the next clip.
Dude,
you know, everybody knows that there was another Wrestling with Reality.
Two.
There was two other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is John threatening them with legal action.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Stuff and we're not just going to do wrestling on our Friday shows too. We're going to do reality stuff too, because this is Wrestling with Reality. And those other doofuses better take the name off soon, because the name is now being copyrighted right now. So it's being renewed for a copyright at this moment. So those other two dorks with the show better get rid of the name fast, because it's copyrighted now, man. So when you get to the medium time, the medium, not the big time, but the medium time, you got to start copyrighting stuff.
Okay, first he said he was going to copyright it, and then he said he was going to renew the copyright. Well,
yeah. Oh, dude, sorry.
Really?
This first episode of this edition of Wrestling with Reality came out in September 2017. Dude, come on. Like his show didn't pop up till 2018. Secondly, when you look it up, and I'm just going to, so maybe you can see this real quick. There, the top review of this show is right there. Best. This show is dreadful on all levels. What a scumbag, dude. Yeah. Now that's the one podcast. It was out a year before him. He can't do shit. The other one, it's not exactly the same, but it's Wrestling Reality with Justin LeBar. Justin LeBar, he's been on various websites and stuff. His name is familiar to some people, and so he's probably got a review there. But yeah, no, dude, that wasn't his name. Like he wasn't the first one to use it at all.
My favorite part about this is he says this is like 2 months before it becomes Cheap Eat and Cheap Pops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was back in May of this year.
God.